Hey, back again with another video. I just had a thought about the video that I uploaded just a few days ago about the energy vampires and the emotional vampires. Well, in my opinion, I think that people who are nosy and gossipy type of people are emotional and energy vampires. Most of those people tend to ask questions that really don't even concern them. And I think it's done with the intent to figure you out, to size you, to find out how they can possibly use you. And sometimes it's done with the intent to stir up a lot of shit. So whenever somebody asks me a lot of questions about myself that I don't feel comfortable answering, I just tell them flat out, that's none of your business, or I just ignore them. Or if they ask me a question about someone else, I'll say, I don't know, why don't you go ask that person? And with the gossipy people, more often than not, when a person is gossipy, I feel that they're just gloating in other people's misfortunes. I try to stay away from people who gossip a lot, because if they're talking trash about someone else, the moment that you turn your back, they're probably talking trash about you. So I don't get caught up in the he said, she said crap. I don't get caught up in, I try not to get caught up in what's going on in other people's business, because other people's problems can become yours if you indulge in too much gossip. I had uploaded some videos about a relative of mine who seems to attract a lot of negativity. I hate to say it, but I think she's an energy vampire as well. She's not a bad person. She is just that everywhere she goes, she seems to attract a lot of conflict. Conflict that could actually be avoided. And she's one of those persons that causes undue stress and anxiety if you're not careful. So I find that people who are energy vampires, a lot of times they elicit this physiological response in your body, like uncomfortable feelings like headaches. Sometimes you might get migraines. You might start to feel nervous. Maybe even sick to your stomach if you're around them long enough to listen to their whining and complaining, and to absorb their negativity. Something that I forgot to mention in that first video is that I actually alluded to it, but I wasn't really direct. And that is that eating natural foods from the planet, like fruits, vegetables, preferably organic, is a good way to raise your vibration. Processed foods, like prepackaged foods, frozen dinners, junk foods, potato chips, cookies, stuff like that. Most of the time when you're eating those things, you're just consuming a lot of empty calories that don't really provide much of any nutritional value. And you're also wrecking your body at the same time. I consider those foods dead foods. An observation that I made years ago is that when I consumed more grains, more fruits and vegetables, organic, I had a lot more energy than, when I started eating junk food and prepackaged foods and processed foods. Another good way to raise your vibration that I didn't mention in the first video is by meditation. That's also an excellent way to help you to become more relaxed and to relieve stress. So when I want to meditate, usually I just put on a binaural beat. I use stereo headphones, and I just get somewhere where I won't be disturbed, and I close my eyes and I just sit there and listen to the binaural beats and meditate for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And I try to do that first thing in the morning or just before I go to bed. Those are the best times to meditate because you're entering into that alpha state where your subconscious mind is more easily programmed. Something else that will increase your vibrational energy and frequency is exercise. And I recommend yoga or Tai Chi. Personally, I've never tried Tai Chi, but I've heard people speak wonders about the benefits of practicing Tai Chi. And if you practice Tai Chi long enough, you reach a state where you're actually able to control your energy. But with yoga and also Tai Chi, you become more flexible, and it helps you to improve your breathing. If you want to learn more about raising your frequency, there's 2 really good videos on YouTube that discuss this. Well, one of them actually discusses changing your frequency, and you can find that video on this channel called A-Fest. There's this woman who's, I think she's giving a seminar. Her name is Christine. I'll put her name in the captions because I can't remember her name right off the top of my head. She talks a lot about changing your things that you can do to change your frequency and to reach a higher level of frequency. And the other video is on this channel by Teal Swan, and I think it's called Increasing Your Vibration or Increasing Your Frequency. And both of those videos lean more towards the metaphysical or the spiritual. So that's just a heads up, just in case you're not into that type of stuff. Some people would classify it along the lines of New Age. And I'm into that type of stuff. Yeah, I'm weird. Alright, thanks for watching.